Hey, it's me, Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles. I am sorry it's been a month. We've had a crazy month here, just a lot we had to deal with. We're fine, but there was a lot of stuff going on, and I just was not able to do any videos. But I should be back on track now that we've got everything kind of settled. This is what I did, and I'm going to tell you the things I did right and the things I did wrong. One of the things I did wrong was losing the cookie cutter, but thank goodness I had already stamped everything out. I just had to cut them out. But the problem is if you don't cut them out right when you stamp them, they can start to fade. So if you're going to stamp things, cut them right out. Especially if they're a silver stamping pad on felt, on a dark felt like the brown. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to my channel, I take a cookie cutter and I use an ink stamp pad. Like if you use a stamp to stamp a piece of paper or a card, I take the cookie cutter and I stamp it onto felt. And I think I might have an example to show you right here. These are some snowman I stamped out a while back. And then I cut them out. And this is a black. It looks purple, but it's black. And those last okay. But if you do a silver on a brown, sometimes it can start to fade. I just use cheap felt, the stuff you get for 30 cents at Hobby Lobby, or Walmart, or Joann's, or Michael's, the cheapest felt. I buy felt at yard sales. I do all kinds of great buys on felt. And then I use sequins, and I use seed beads, and I'll show you everything I used. This will not be a full tutorial. I'm going to put in my description box below, which is when you look at the video, underneath it starts to talk about something. You'll see like a sentence, and then it'll say more. Hit the more, and it'll open up everything. And it'll give you my link to my link tree, where I put everything I do. It will also have a link to my basic beaded ornament tutorial and my basic editing tutorial. And I will also put the gingerbread man, because I did a mouth that did this type of a technique. So I'm not going to do a tutorial, because a tutorial runs 45 minutes to an hour, and nobody wants to watch that long of a video when I already have plenty of them. This I would not recommend. I had drawn it on there. I did everything I could, but once I started putting the sequins on, you can see what happened. It just totally distorted it. And so if I did to do over again, I'd either do the same design in small sequins in a contrasting color, like a beige, or something that would stand out. Or I would do a large diamond shape, like a elongated diamond in the middle. But I would not do that, because it turned out terrible. This is just going on my tree, so I'm not worried about it. Then I stamped these and cut these out. I'd already stamped them, so thank goodness. And then what I do is I line them up. Now I didn't like how this looked, so I trimmed this over and I trimmed the brown underneath till it looked the way I wanted it to look. And then I did the white first, which is a 8mm white sequin. Now these were an old buy on clearance from Hobby Lobby. I don't know what they sell today, but you can get these anywhere. And one store that I found, gosh, I don't even know how many years ago. I need to find out how long they've been in business, because I've been going to them since their packaging was not professional, and you could tell they hand did them. Cartwrights Sequins. They sell seed beads, and they sell some glitter, or I think, is it glitter? Or scatter, you know, I think it's something like that. And they were a game changer for me, because I could find things there I'd never seen before. And I'm not affiliated with them. They don't even give discounts. I've spent $100, and I've got a running history with them, and they don't give discounts. I even inquired, and they said they don't. If you do a bulk discount, you have to buy so much stuff to get a little bit off. It's not worth it for most people. Not even me, who buys a lot, but they wanted like 200 or more for a book. So they don't need to give discounts. They're the best game in town, and actually they're pretty reasonable. I think a bag like this is $1.50 or $1.75. And these are a 5mm. 5mm. I used an open bag just like this. It's called Coffee. Now this was a metallic version. I don't know where my open bag went. This is, if you look at it carefully, it's a more of a clear brown. so the felt below it shows through. And I love to use those on the felt ornaments because it will show through. Now the top, I did use a metallic red because I wanted that glittery look. And on the brown I used this is just a brown that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby when they got new packaging. They still sell it in a big old tube now. But, I mean, a tube like that will last you forever. And then these are a gold faceted star that I used for the spur. And you can get these pretty much anywhere, and definitely on Cartwrights. And this is a vintage bag that I have. And then the seed beads. This is what you can get in the smaller bottles at Hobby Lobby. They are now $4.49, but you can get them on half price, usually at least 1 or 2 weeks a month. And that's when I buy them. And they have these in pretty much any color I'm using here. The reds, I think browns, definitely golds, and because there's the gold I used here and on here, and greens. This is a green I had. That's a Toho, which is a much more expensive. And there's a red that they sell. And this, see, the $4.49. That's the old price, $2.99. Now they are $4.49. They're Preciosa, which are a check bead, but they're on sale at Hobby Lobby. Whenever the strung beads are on sale, these bottles and the big bottles, which I believe I have one in a different color, but I can at least show you how big they are. Here's their gold in the big tube. I mean, I can't, it's so big. Look at this. This is the difference. And these are $4.99, and these are $4.49. See the difference in size? And really, as far as it comes to the ornaments, the precision and quality is not a big deal. For beaded earrings, I would highly recommend these. For the ornaments, you can eat. The gold is a little pure, but honestly, on an ornament, you wouldn't notice it. If you want precision, better shape, these are still good, but these are just a little better. That's why they cost more. These are not check beads, I don't think, but these are 12.0, and these are also 11.0. So those are, Hobby Lobby is a great resource for both sequins, seed beads, and felt. And it's a wonderful hobby because it's so reasonable. Now, I use beading thread. I do not recommend using anything but beading thread. And unfortunately, other than Michael's, and they sell like 4 spools like this for like $14. I would recommend getting online. Now, I recently found a store. They're called Simply Beads USA. And I just ordered some that I didn't have many or have any in this new brand I found a few years ago, which is the D-Lon. This is the D-Lon in a size D. This is an S-Lon. They're both a nylon beading cord. This one's a little heavier, but the difference between beading thread, nylon beading thread, and regular thread is if you see the end, see the tip? It's very, very straight. It can fray, don't get me wrong, but if you're real careful as you're threading the needle, it's stiffer than regular thread, it's hardier, and it goes through the needle eye much better than, and you can't destruct this stuff. I mean, you cannot break it. You cannot. I've had sequins that were so old that on a piece hanging in a car that the sequins were crumbling and falling off of, and the thread was still there. This thread will never, and the seed bead was still there. This thread will not decay on you, and you can get it in so many colors. I have big spools like this of all the basic colors that you can find. This is the Nemo, which is the same as this. These are 3-ounce spools that cost about $30, and you can get them in brown, red, green, white, black, cream, several blues, and an orchid that's kind of a pinkish purple. But at Simply Beads, you can get, Simply Beads USA, you can get all the different colors for $2.25 each. And I like to have them for when I travel and for the videos because they're easier to show. But I don't have any little ones, so I have to use, now this is a 30-year-old spool, and look how much I still have. A new spool, let me show you how much is on that one to show you how much you get. I mean, I've literally been using this 30 years. And for a long time, that was my only thread. And look at the difference. I mean, I still have many years to go, but I've used it for many, many years. And the spools are a little smaller than, the bottoms are a little smaller than they used to be, and they're different. These are made by Coats, and this was made by Belding Cortelli Thread Company. But this is the same Nemo. This is a 00, and this one's a 0. But I also have a spool like this in D, and 2 blacks, one in O and one in D, because the thinner one is better for the seed bead earrings. So then you want beading needles. Now these I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm really happy with them. You can see how cheap they are. Again, you need those to fit through the seed beads. The eyes are made small, but they're still big enough you can get that beading thread through there. And a good pair of scissors. These are not cheap. These are a Singer. I put new because I have several pairs. They're pretty expensive, but if you go when their scissors are 50% off, then you can get a good deal. I think they're about 15 bucks, but they are great. This one's got a little tape stuck to it, I think. So those are all the materials you need. And then felt in whatever color you want to do. And again, felt, dirt cheap. So to make an ornament like this, if you had to buy all this stuff to start, yes. But if once you've collected different colors and stuff, you're good to go for a very long time. So I'm going to put the complete tutorial in the description box below. I think I mentioned it, but in case I didn't, underneath the video, it's a sentence, says more, hit that, and you'll find beaded ornament tutorial, a beading edging tutorial, and I did a gingerbread where I show how I did a little bit of this for his smile. But anyway, I cut out this too, and once I had these ready to go, I took a piece of green felt, which you can see in the background, and I put this on the green felt rough cut, and then basically stitched all of this together onto the green felt. Once that was all done and all the pieces were done, and I trimmed this down to just a nub, just a little piece that stuck out big enough to put that star on. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just big enough to put that star on. And then once it was all cut to where I wanted it, then I put a piece of red under it, and I cut the red to fit as well. And you could actually, if I was to do this again, I would trace around on a piece of cardstock. But I just didn't want to, without, the problem was without the cookie cutter, I couldn't stamp another piece for the back, because if you trace around it, it's bigger. So I figured this would be the better way to do it. It gives it a little bit different look. You just have a little hint of green all the way around it, and I kind of like that look. But when I have the cookie cutter, which I stamp on the felt, I stamp the cookie cutter onto the felt, then I can do the back, and then do the back. I only have to do 2 pieces of felt instead of 3 like I did on this one. So, and you will see that in my basic tutorial. And so anyway, after I did that and I got all the layers together, I used red thread, this one right here, with the green seed beads to make the red kind of disappear into the red felt. If I had used green felt back here, I would have used the green thread, and then that would have disappeared into the green felt. That's why I like having some of these spools, because when I want it to blend together, that's really works out good. So, but Cartwrights Sequins, I'm not affiliated, and Simply Beads USA are 2 great sources. And Simply Beads also has some high quality Toho seed beads, which are my favorite, a little bit pricier. They're a better quality than these, and they're gorgeous, and they have some amazing colors, but they are anywhere from $3 for a 2.5-inch tube like this, all the way up to $13, $14, $15 for the really fancy. So I tend to use these and just keep the really nice ones when I can buy them in 50-gram bags, or for the things that I really want to use them for, like seed bead earrings and stuff like that. But anyway, it turned out pretty cute, other than my embroidery, my beading skills here did not work out. So were I to do this again, I would definitely do some kind of a long triangle out of like a tan or even a turquoise, or you know, some kind of accent color, but I would never do that again. But it's just going on my tree, so I don't care. But you can see how reflective these, when you get good quality beads, and the ones you get from Hobby Lobby are just, look at that, they're just as pretty. Very reflective and pretty. And you could have done a red edge on there, but I didn't want it to be the same as the hat. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it's just, you know, a simple show and tell, but I didn't want an hour video, and I've done so many of the tutorials. You can just go to my playlist and look at any of the tutorials you want to, but I do have a basic tutorial on how to do the ornaments and how to do the edging, which I will link, like I said, in the description box below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've got a couple other really fun ones already lined up. I started an ornament a few years ago, and I'm almost done with it, and I'm going to do that one really soon. That it was a lot of work, a lot of detail, and I'll show you that one soon. And I've got a couple cookie cutters lined up that I'm going to do in the next week or two. Probably this coming week, there's 2 I want to do. So I'm going to have a lot more fun stuff for you. I do have some other Christmas crafts I want to do for you as well. I'm kind of back in the saddle again, and let's get going with the videos. I missed you guys for this last month, but it just couldn't be helped. There was just a lot going on. And currently right now I'm having very bad jaw problems, so I'm on a liquid diet until my jaw heals. So I've been fighting with that for about 2 weeks, and that's been my biggest battle, is I didn't want to go on a liquid diet. I tried eating soft, that didn't work. And then I would start eating some normal food. Not quite the stuff I shouldn't eat, but it got to the point where anything that I had to chew hurt. So that was part of what I've been battling with for the last about month. And my husband's had a few things he's had to deal with, and it's just been a crazy month. We've all had one of those, you know. So I'll be back soon. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to bringing you some more fun Christmas videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye.